All right, so we're going to react to some viral food trends, I guess, in the last 10 years or so. Let's get into it real quick.
Viral food trends. In 2022, everyone was talking about this pink sauce. The colored condiment went viral after creator Chef P posted video eating it with fried chicken. Tastes good.
Look at this right now. Look at this. We are talking about the damn pink sauce again. Apparently, you know what? I give it to them. This was one of the biggest stories for food as far as the way it went up and the way it went down. So yeah, it makes sense to be in this right here.
It's like a sweet seasoned ranch. That's what it tastes like to me. But since it's made with oil, it's a lot more like buttery and oily than ranch.
Look at this!
Ingredients include sunflower seed oil, honey, garlic, milk, spices, and dragon fruit.
It's sweet, it's tangy, it's a little spicy.
Stephen Fabian spoke with Chef P.
What do you use pink sauce for? Is it a dipping?
This is how big this sauce, like the popularity got. This is before they even got to Walmart. You're talking about Inside Edition. They were getting interviewed. Not only, it was just not social media. This blew up. So this is why we understand it got into Walmart. And this is before like the majority of people even tried it. Just a handful of people had tried it in some of her fake whatever publications or marketing in her TikTok.
Sauce?
It can be used as a dipping sauce, a salad dressing. It can be used as a topping on pasta, pizza, rice.
Pink sauce.
I don't know if I want anything that tastes like ranch tossed in my like hot warm pasta. Maybe like a pasta salad, but that's every time she mentions stuff like that, it's just it really makes my stomach feel some type of way.
Generated some drama after customers received their packages. This customer says it came in a Ziploc bag that leaked.
No ma'am, we're not trying this. Look at this, it stinks.
Chef changed the packaging, but there was also...
Okay, so I don't want to even bring that up, but I'm going to bring it up because when she did get the money from the deal that she had with Dave's Gourmet, one of the things that she obviously kind of talked about was that she kind of did some enhancement, body enhancements. And yeah, I guess she did, because you can tell here, and if I have the opportunity, I'll try to put a picture next to this or on top of this on how she looks now, even though she complained that she didn't get no money, but she got her money. She used it for maybe not the most important stuff, like food and paying rent and all that stuff. And then she complained. This is why I didn't have any pity for this person.
Confusion over the nutritional facts. The label said a bottle of pink sauce had 444 servings, but it had 444 grams, which is 30 servings.
That's why we paused the production and we're printing new labels.
Does pink sauce need to go in the refrigerator, or can it sit out on your shelf?
Okay, so that was another typo. So it says, please refrigerate.
Oh my God! Wow!
Everything has rolled out extremely fast.
Right.
That's not an excuse with food. It's not an excuse. Rolling out too fast, you pushing out a product too fast. With food, even medicine, you don't want to push it. You want to push it until you know it's safe. So you're telling me it was just too fast for you, and all these mistakes were because, you couldn't catch it because this thing's just moving too fast? Nah, that's not an excuse. That's negligence in a sense.
Mistakes happen.
I have never been
You don't want to hear mistakes happen when you're dealing with food. That's what I gotta say.
so stressed out in my entire life. I have never made so many Frappuccinos in my entire life.
In 2017, Braden Burson, a Starbucks barista in Colorado, had a rough day making dozens of unicorn Frappuccinos. They looked pretty, but were a nightmare to make.
I have unicorn crap all in my hair and on my nose, and people were coming in left and right, drive-through and in the front. So, for the love of God and everything that is good, don't get the unicorn Frappuccino.
Of course, that's going to be, if he went viral for saying that, that's exactly what's going to happen. Everybody's going to order that Frappuccino. Look, I don't go to Starbucks. Nothing that I I just don't care for going out to buying coffee too much, unless if you tell me this coffee is amazing. But I've had their coffee before. It's not that good. Most of the stuff that people buy there is sugar. It's coffee with a bunch of sugar and cream, and like you're getting right here, like this is just a fruit drink smoothie, whatever. There's their coffee, but their coffee is not really what people go there for. Sugar. I know, because I've been in places people go and do Starbucks run, and everything that comes back is just sugar. So
He wasn't alone. Employees all over were fed up with the drink. People were ordering them by the crates, and they took a long time to make.
He gave me the look like, oh boy, oh boy.
Ingredients include ice, milk, frappuccino syrup, vanilla syrup, mango syrup, pink powder, sour blue powder, and something called blue drizzle, blended together, topped with whipped cream, and sprinkled with pink and blue sugar.
Cheers.
Les Trent and other Inside Edition staffers tried it out for themselves.
It's weird. That's the best.
It almost tastes like medicine to me a little bit.
Yeah, it's
Like Pepto-Bismol.
But plenty of people loved it.
yeah, people like Pepto-Bismol. That's not the first time I've heard people describe something they're eating like Pepto-Bismol and they like it. So Pepto-Bismol seems to be a go-to taste apparently, or childhood taste, whatever it is. I don't know.
One woman even dyed her hair to match her unicorn frappuccino. Luckily for Brandon and other Starbucks employees, the drink was only there for a limited time.
So, for the love of God and everything that is good, don't get the unicorn.
In 2018, these people tried a tasty but controversial new frozen treat called Dragon's Breath. It consisted of cheese puffs or cereal that was instantly frozen in liquid nitrogen.
Liquid nitrogen. I mean, so people ingest. Look, I work with liquid nitrogen, and it's one of those things that is not meant to be ingested like this. So interesting. But I get these fads are popular. They look cool, whatever. It doesn't really change the flavor of anything. It just makes it really, really cold. So
People grabbed a skewer, dipped it in sauce, and ate it. Then out came the smoke. But was it safe? Lane Madison tried out Dragon's Breath. At first, it was fun blowing out the smoke. Then it wasn't.
I stuck my finger like in my mouth and did that. There was blood on my hands.
Lane said he had almost unbearable pain after burning the inside of his mouth.
For about 3 weeks, I was limited.
3 weeks, Jesus! What kind of burn that you got with liquid nitrogen? 3 weeks. Usually, I mean, what took your skin to whatever. But that just kind of proves my point. Like, this stuff is not supposed to be ingested. People should know that. But I don't know how people get away with selling this stuff that is just nuts.
You know what I could eat.
Little Johnny McKinney from Jacksonville, Florida, ate Dragon's Breath at a local mall. His mom, Rachel, says the smoke triggered an asthma attack. So she warned parents on social media. Around 20 minutes in, the cough became really consistent. He was coughing so bad that he was having trouble catching his breath. He ended up in the hospital, she wrote.
Well, I don't know how the liquid nitrogen would take away, but nitrogen itself, it takes away like oxygen. So I don't know if that had to do with the asthma attack. I'm pretty sure it did, because that's what it does. Have you ever been in a room that there's a bunch of nitrogen liquid, the smoke, the fog made by the nitrogen? You can't breathe. Like, it literally takes away the oxygen. So maybe that's really what happened with the asthma attack.
Dr. Rashini Raj said you can be in big trouble if the liquid nitrogen hasn't completely dried.
Any part of your body that's coming in contact with liquid nitrogen can be damaged because it's very destructive to the tissues of your body. So that could be the skin on your fingers, it could be the lining of your mouth, your esophagus. I think the safest thing to do is to avoid any sort of food or beverage that's been prepared with liquid nitrogen.
Black pancakes, black lemonade, black ice cream. In 2018, black food was the latest culinary craze.
I do remember that. And it was, I do remember that it was literally that 1 year basically that was really strong. I didn't really use the activated charcoal that people were using. There was different other forms trying to make food black, but charcoal was really the main way that they were making food dark color. So, I mean, I've done it before. I've used like squid ink, but I just never really used the charcoal. It's not like the worst thing, But I'm pretty sure like anything, too much of anything, something like this, yeah, it's probably not good for you.
What gave the food that deep, rich black color? Charcoal. When heated and used as an additive in food, it's called activated charcoal. In some...
I'm going to go out on a limb. I might be wrong, but I've tasted it doesn't really add flavor to food, but it does give that color. And sometimes people are just eating stuff because it's a funny color. And dark charcoal black is definitely not the norm of you eating your food. Like, the food is usually never that color. So yeah, people will eat it, but does it really change the flavor? I'm telling you, there's a lot of these food trends that gives no benefit to the flavor of what you're eating. Maybe it was pushed as a beneficial, like, health benefit. Let's continue. Let me see.
Claimed it had detoxifying powers.
Oh my God.
But is eating charcoal...
So the timing was good. So they saying and you know what? I've heard and I know that if you get like poison, they say to ingest some charcoal and it's supposed to absorb that poison. But I don't know. Like, you're not eating this because you have poison. So what is it going to be detoxifying? Like, you're just going to be eating people. You know what? This is probably why it got popular. I just rambled off because I was also thinking of how this got popular, and they say the detoxifying actions that the charcoal does. People are really big into detox. I know that a lot of these detox are really just basically messing up your insides as far as just making you empty out, but not really detoxing. But most people don't know that. They feel that when they're going to the bathroom, they're getting detox, but usually that's just the reaction of whatever detox they're using.
Safe.
The truth is, our body detoxifies very well and naturally with our kidneys and our liver. So any kind of supplement or food that claims to detoxify is really not something that you want to be doing. But if you're repeatedly doing this, it could build up, and it can also interact with medications you're taking. So if you're taking it around the same time that you take a prescription medicine, that medicine may not be absorbed by your body, so it may not be as effective.
Interesting, and that's from the doctor. So I did not know that, but it's nice, and it's kind of what I figured. I figured that too much of anything. So if these people are eating charcoal, like, it's just not one of those things that I assume that it's not meant to be eaten all the time. So if people are eating charcoal pancakes, charcoal tea, this, that, all the time, it might not be good. And I think that's what kind of she said. She said it a little bit different. She said it in the medical way, which it makes a lot more sense than the way I said it. So I'll still take it.
The Fire Noodle Challenge!
In 2018, a noodle called Buldak Ramen took over the internet. Needless to say, the trend was hot.
We're gonna try it out. It looks pretty good. Start eating. This smells good.
The Fire Noodle Challenge
I don't know. These come up with this. This is, I guess, I'm not even going to go into this one too much. This is more about challenges about eating something hot, which I'm pretty sure this year there's going to be another one. Every year there's always something hot. Wings, whatever. Chip. Always. So this year, I guess, whatever year this was, it was the noodles. I don't know. Not much. It's nothing new. I'm going to try to skip.
In 2017, it was chaos at McDonald's over, of all things, Szechuan sauce.
I do remember a little bit of this story. Again, I don't really go to McDonald's, but I do remember the Szechuan sauce talking. I remember the hype around it. I didn't really care too much for it, but let's see a little flashback.
Customers crowded at the counter and hundreds more were outside demanding the sauce for their nuggets. The craze was triggered by an episode of Cartoon Network's Rick and Morty. One problem, the sauce had been discontinued for almost 20 years.
In 1998, they had this promotion for the Disney film Mulan, where they created a new sauce for the McNuggets called Szechuan sauce, and it's delicious. And then they got rid of it, and now it's gone. This is the only place we're gonna be able to try it. It's in my memory.
Megan Alexander has more.
McDonald's was besieged with demands from Rick and Morty fans to bring back the sauce. And they did, but just for one day, and only in select restaurants. They were given just 20 packets each.
I want Szechuan sauce.
Oh, this is a little over the top here. On top of it, if they're giving you 20 packs for just only a certain amount of stores, I think McDonald's did that shit I don't want to say a fact because of course it's still my opinion, but they did it on purpose. So they basically to get a reaction to basically say they were sold out and just make this big, just to make this a big deal. Because why, if you know somebody, if so many people want it, you're only gonna make 20 packets. Come on. It's all done. It's all marketing. I guaranteed. That's why we're still talking about this Szechuan sauce, whatever, years from now, and this happened years ago, and this is one of the viral things. I give them that. That was a very well marketing campaign with this Szechuan sauce.
Szechuan sauce! This guy freaked out when his local McDonald's didn't have any left. I'm pickle
No offense, I don't think that guy freaked out. I just think the guy is just, he's just what it is. He's trying to get a little viral like we watch him now. And yeah.
This guy snatched some off the counter. Scenes like this were repeated across America and posted on social media. Chef Jonathan Wu recreated the recipe.
The ingredients we have are minced ginger, garlic, and scallion, ketchup, and sherry vinegar, and then soy sauce, maple syrup. Lastly, we have some soy sauce with cornstarch.
Is good. It really is.
In 2021, there was chaos at McDonald's stores over meals inspired by BTS. There was so much demand that the first day of sales ended with overturned tables and chairs. To cut down on crowding, the meal was only available through delivery or the drive-thru window, but that didn't work. Things got so out of hand that police in Indonesia had to stand behind the counters, and ultimately the stores were closed. It was all for, get this, 10 chicken McNuggets, fries, and a Coke, and sweet chili or Cajun dipping sauce. It all...
So you're telling me stuff that they already have, just because this boy band promoted it, it became viral. And people want to get the same thing that you could just order regular, but it was promoted by them that they're going to get chicken nuggets. I'm telling you, man, people are not too bright. I'm going to tell you that right now. In McDonald's, some of these companies know how people are not too bright, and they really focus to these people that are not too bright, because there's more of them, and that tends to be, I guess, the very loyal market customer base.
Came in purple packaging, as one band member is known for the slogan, I purple you. It means...
So, okay, my fault. They also changed the colors of the packaging.
Of course, it's so simple. I'm not following you.
Because, well, and if I'm wrong, leave your comments below. If I am missing something about this story, let me know. I'm just reacting to what the story from Inside Edition is telling me.
Means I trust, love, and support you. From 2013, this was the line of people waiting in line for a cronut, a cross between a donut and a croissant that's glazed and filled with cream.
Again, I guarantee this donut tastes delicious. But it's a donut, and again, it falls right under my whole theory that I say if you fry something and it has a ton of sugar and a ton of fat, and this is way over the top. Croissant, if you know how a croissant's made, it's a ton of butter. So you're talking about a lot of fat. Now you're throwing basically flour and butter in a fryer, and then you're adding it with more creamy, sweet sugar. And the croissant will have a little bit of salt. So you have a little bit, it's a good flavor profile. Definitely horrible for you. Each one of these must be, I don't even know, maybe 2,000 calories or more. Who knows? But yeah, it's cheating. Anybody could fry something that is already way over the top, and it's going to taste good.
When they first came out, people from all over the world wanted to try it.
Minneapolis, California.
We left Ocean City, Maryland about 10 p.m.
The thing is that this is not new. Stuff like this has been done. Has been done. I think it's all about who does it and how it's marketed. These things have been done in places, and people, it just goes like unbounded. And you might hear a bit. It might just stay local, but these marketing is huge. And I realized that over the years, people know how to market themselves way better than other people. Some companies are way better at marketing, because they'll market some garbage, and you'll get a whole fleet of traffic off of garbage, but it's really just the marketing.
Chef Dominique Ansel came up with that concept in his Manhattan bakery after a bit of trial and error.
Well, every week we have a meeting with the team and we try to come up with new ideas and like challenge ourselves to do like exciting things. And I really wanted to do a donut for the shop, but not any like kind of donut. I want to do something fun, something you've never seen before. And I really love croissants, so I want to put them together and created something that you've never seen before, and it was like fun to eat. I love it. It's like flaky, it's like crunchy on the outside. We fill it with cream, there's glaze on top. It's really fun to eat. You can see all the layers. It's very, very exciting. So it took me about 2 months and 10 different recipes to adjust, really to have the perfect consistency, to have the right texture of the dough to be able to fry it so it doesn't slide. The layer doesn't slide off, and we can keep the cream inside and stays good for a couple hours. I'm not going to tell you exactly what's in the dough.
The recipe was top secret, and Chef Ansel said it was a 3-day process to make a single batch. Once the bakery opened at 8 a.m., the cronuts went fast. They only made 250 a day, and customers were limited to 2 cronuts each. A single cronut cost $5.
I'm number 13, so I'm gonna have cronuts, 26 and 27, which is exciting.
And get this, people bought cronuts and turned around and scalped them outside the store for as much as $40 a piece. People also resold them on Craigslist.
Oh, goodness gracious. So good, worth the wait.
Of course it's gonna be good. I mean, you're eating basically sugar, fat. So your body loves that shit.
Every time we introduce something into the menu to our customers, we try to do something fun and new. And this was just an addition to the menu. I had no idea.
We actually had over 2. I'm gonna make some banana bread.
It was the #1 search recipe during lockdown.
I remember that. I remember a lot of stuff during this time. So that's just like the first time in my life that I had time since my place's business was basically shut down. Yeah, and I remember them talking about this, that, yeah, it was very popular, banana bread. But in general, people were just baking a lot. So this just happened to be, I guess, one of the #1 search, the more popular one, because it is easy to create. But there was a lot of baking going on,
In 2019, this quesadilla recipe with 33 ingredients took social media by storm.
Making my point, if you take anything that's already like over the top, so quesadilla, of course, it has a lot of salt, a lot of cheese. It's a heavy dish, appetizer, a lot of cheese. Quesadilla, the main thing of it is cheese and whatever protein. Let's just take that and fry it. Oh, it's instant winner. Telling you, that is the cheat code. I'm gonna keep on saying it because it's always giving me examples. Like, I'm always gonna see examples. So we already got a bunch of these things that are being fried. So
Stephen Fabian recreated it.
Red onion, some chives.
First up, shopping for the ingredients. Here's our mozzarella right here. Cheddar, cheddar, cheddar. Boom. Chili powder, garlic powder, paprika. Give me some cumin. Mustard seed. This is a lot of spices for a quesadilla. Buying all those.
Yeah, they went way overboard. This is way too many ingredients. There's no need for all these ingredients. I think it's just to make it seem like it's something like that was thought out really, really well, but it's just when somebody, this is almost like when I first started making meals and dishes, when I very, very first started in this business, and I would just make the stuff way too much, and there was no need for it. And this right here is the same thing, because at the end of the day, you're just gonna take all this and fry it, and as long as it has the cheese and the protein and a couple of the vegetables, it would taste great. Of course, some spices, salt, pepper, all that stuff, but I'm pretty sure, I'm not even gonna say I'm pretty sure, I know that there's a lot of stuff that is just not needed, not necessary, but
These items is not cheap. $155.65 for this quesadilla. All right, now it's time to make this thing. Ton of ingredients here, Stephanie.
I know, it's ridiculous. We're gonna do mustard powder, chili powder,
yeah, it is ridiculous.
cumin, onion powder here as well, and garlic powder. I'm gonna do about 2 tablespoons here. Just gonna get this all together.
All right, so here's our baked chicken with our homemade sauce, except we shredded it up, right? So I'm gonna dump it in this bowl.
Perfect.
What else can I put in here
Okay,
now?
so we need some barbecue sauce.
All right, love me some barbecue sauce.
Do you like
Probably my favorite.
spicy or sweet?
I like a little bit of both.
Okay, give me a good amount of those red onions. Get some scallions in there.
And then I think we got to do bacon, right?
Yep, whole thing of bacon.
Oh boy. Ooh. This is starting to look good now.
So we have these tortillas. We cut them to fit our springform pan.
How many tortillas? 2?
We have 3 here.
So cheddar, tell me more than that, probably, right?
Yeah, a little bit more.
There's our mozzarella.
Perfect. Now we're gonna go on with our chicken. So we're gonna do 1 layer.
And then we cap off this mixture of deliciousness with another tortilla that goes right on top. Smash it down a little bit, right?
Yep, and then we're gonna weight it.
So this chills for an hour. Ooh, look at that. Not quite. We're gonna slice this thing up. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, look at that, it's working. So there we go, 6 slices. It's a lot of money for 6 slices of a quesadilla. This is the tricky part. We gotta hope that this thing sticks together. Look at that, look at our layers. Perfect layers.
But first we do flour. Now, just make sure it's
covered
it with the egg. Just pour the breadcrumbs right over.
Okay.
Yep, it's a messy one.
No one ever said I was a expert in the
And 33 ingredients later, the deep fried.
So again, after all that, all the cheese inside, you throw a little bit of tomato sauce and make it like a pizza topping on top with more cheese and more sauce, more pepperoni. This stuff, deep fried barbecue, huh? That's what it's called? It's not. I think if you put almost, I won't say almost anything, but if you put just half of these ingredients in there, it still tastes good. It's just sometimes over the top is just to be over the top, and it's not really adding much to the dish.
Fried barbecue chicken stuffed pizzadilla was done.
I didn't think I was gonna like it.
It's actually kind of good.
It's actually really good.
In June of 2024, Chipotle customers fought back over Chipotle's shrinking portion sizes.
Can I get a bowl, please? Let's get some Chipotle.
Victoria Ricano has more.
Some customers are now going into Chipotle with their camera devices recording. They believe once employees know they're being filmed, they'll dish out larger portions of food.
If you film while ordering at Chipotle, give you more food. Chicken. Cheese.
Look.
Again, this just proves to me how people don't give a F about like being out in public and being just shitheads to other people. You going out into an establishment with a bunch of cameras or your own camera and just talking to somebody, recording them. Yeah, it's to me it's just really cringy, but I'm just old, I guess, and to me this looks cringy, but this was a fad. Like people were actually doing it, and we all know that these people don't see this as cringy at all. I see it cringy, but that's just me, I guess.
At the size of that burrito.
You're gonna wanna drive to your nearest Chipotle and start recording.
This man tried the same method and it worked. These guys had no.
Like this is too much. But again, this is where we at right now. Look at this person over here laughing. But this shit is cringy to me. It's just I don't know, man. People, it's the way things are right now.
9 cameras recording, and were thrilled with the results of their high-pressure tactics. Inside Edition producer Emma Katie put the camera trick challenge to the test. First, she ordered without filming.
Let's take a look.
Next, she ordered while recording with her camera.
I will do a bowl, please, and I will do chicken and steak.
This is the bowl using my phone. This one definitely is heavier.
The viral Chipotle challenge started after some customers complained about shrinkflation, claiming they were paying the same but getting less for their money. Chipotle CEO denied that their portion sizes had gotten smaller.
First, I can tell you the portions have not gotten smaller. All you got to do is kind of like, and usually our guys. And
that's a weird system. I think that right there just didn't work out too well. I think say something like, yeah, just tell the guys. That's weird. That's the CEO of Chipotle too, huh?
Women, give them a little more scoop.
If you're filming the interaction you're having with a service person, you have to remember you're putting them on the spot. So while they might be giving you a little bit more in that moment, you're actually making them the face of the business, which isn't exactly fair.
No offense, I don't think these people think about fairness at all. They're just thinking about themselves. That's kind of what all these things show when people go out there filming people that don't want to be filmed. Kind of abusing some of the laws and rules, but
I eat any type of animals and animal products.
In 2022, Courtney Luna showed off the so-called lion diet, where you only eat meat, salt, and water for 30 days. Some called it the caveman diet, and TikTok was flooded with people trying it. This man made spaghetti and meatballs, but modified it.
But instead of using pasta, I used lamb intestine.
Look, I'm not a doctor. I don't know how this necessarily affects your body after a certain amount of time. I know that, I've read books before that have talked about people eating these type of diets or in the past. And there is side effects like gout that is kind of based from eating too much meat. But I could just be wrong. It's been a long time since I read up and stuff like that. So I don't know. I always say, this comes down to me, like, too much of anything is too much. If you're eating too much of just beef or type of meat, whatever, I don't think it's good. But I'm not a doctor, so I'm pretty sure we have the doctor here, and they'll say something about this, but I don't think it's good.
Yep, lamb intestines.
I had 3 quarter pounders.
I do a lot of burger patties.
Because I feel that you're going to lose a lot of nutrients not getting some of the other foods. It's just not a balanced food. But I just want to throw that in there before.
Not all dietitians were on board.
Absolutely not a good idea to only survive on meat, water, and salt. It's extremely restrictive, and it really could create a window for nutrient deficiency.
For Inside Edition Digital.
So I guess, again, the doctor explains it a little bit better than me. Yeah, nutrient deficiency. That's what I would think too. Like, you definitely are going to be missing some nutrients, or just missing anything. Too much of one thing, you're not going to get the other stuff, right? It's just not balanced. That's the way I see it. The whole point of, getting a balanced diet is to get all of the nutrients. So leave your comments below. Let me know which trend you thought was the craziest, which one you remember, and which one, don't go crazy with the pink sauce. I actually have a story about the pink sauce, but let's get into it. Peace later.